All right, joining me now, TSN Hockey analyst Jamie Noodles McLennan, who sees a lot of Ottawa Senators games, and this was not a good one for the Sens, Jamie. Matthew Tkachuk wins the brother battle this time around, and the third period, very contentious for both brothers. Now that they're in the same division, you've seen so many games for the Sens. Has this rivalry kicked up a little bit of a notch now?
Absolutely, and I feel like we all witnessed what it was like in the Tkachuk basement growing up, the two fighting and the parents watching from the sidelines. But if you look at it, Matthew won this installment. It's been a close installment. I believe it's 10-9 now. But in this particular game, it was Matthew that was all over the ice, obviously getting underneath the skin of Joonas Korpisalo. And to me, they are trying to impact their individual organizations in their own way, because Brady, with his physicality, Matthew not shy to get underneath the skin of opponents as well. But Matthew, like I pointed out earlier, Korpisalo chipping away at him, takes a swipe at him, and both parents watching on, you know they're cheering for both of them, but ultimately you don't want anybody to get hurt. They're chirping each other. And you mentioned, it got greasy in the third period because Brady wanted to drag his team into a war, and that's exactly what happened. You got north of 100 penalty minutes in the third period. The Ottawa Senators weren't happy with their game, and their captain wanted to let everybody know that they were going to go down swinging, and they certainly did in that third period. But it was Matthew that won this installment of the brother battle.
The other Ontario team in a bit of a slump. They lost back-to-back games over the weekend, did the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner in a bit of a slump. I mean, not really. 3 points in his last 7 games, so we're calling it a slump. But here's what Sheldon Keefe decides to do on Monday. He splits up Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner. Do you like the move, Jamie?
I do, because what you're doing is you're giving everybody a little bit of a different look. And you mentioned Mitch Marner is not in this terrible slump, and he's been awful this season. What he's doing is not playing up to the potential that he showed everybody he's capable of playing. He's a superstar player. And when superstars are a little bit off, what you do is you move them around the lineup to try and get creative. And that's exactly what's happened with head coach Sheldon Keefe. He hasn't moved him down to the fourth line. All he did was mix up the top 2 lines. And you're trying to get everybody their attention, but also to get them playing to the top of their capabilities. And you'd much rather do it in November than having to do it in April or in May if you're in a playoff battle. So I don't mind this. And keep in mind, Sheldon Keefe is a creative coach, and usually about 2 or 3 shifts into a game, he'll get the blender out and start mixing and matching things anyway. So wouldn't surprise me if Mitch Marner and Auston Matthews played together in the next game at some point, but it's going to be Marner on that second line with Tavares, and Nylander goes up with Auston Matthews on the top line, we'll call it, just to give it a little different look and maybe both of them a little bit of a jolt.
And we'll see if it works for them. We've got the Leafs and Panthers Tuesday night right here on TSN. As for the Edmonton Oilers, 2 straight wins. Connor McDavid, 9 points over those 2 straight wins. Is this the turnaround that Oiler fans have been looking for, Jamie? Or was it just the fact that they were playing below average teams?
Well, Washington Capitals, I believe, had won 5 in a row, and they beat them 5-0 in their own building. So that's a pretty good team. Anaheim, a little bit different trajectory. But when you're playing as bad as the Edmonton Oilers were, everyone was above you in the standings. So you don't have the right to go, well, that's a worse team and that's a worse team, because the Edmonton Oilers were playing bad hockey to a man. But 97 has woken up, and we're seeing what he's capable of doing. The power play looks a lot better. It looks like the team is playing with a lot more fun, a little bit more confidence, and that's what they need to do. Just relax and play their game. On paper, they're a very talented team, but on paper, it gets you nothing. You've got to work hard and outwork your opponents, and we've seen it in the last couple games where you can see they're having fun, they're a little bit looser, they're a lot confident, and you put up an 8 spot against Anaheim. Yes, Anaheim's in a retool, a couple of their top players missing, but on home ice, you want to make a statement, and they certainly did that last night against Anaheim. So a little bit of both. A team that's reeling a little bit in Anaheim and players that are playing a little bit more confident with the Edmonton Oilers.
And then you have the Vancouver Canucks. Jamie, we knew they could not possibly keep up the incredible play that they've had to start the season. They're 2-4 in their last 6. They lose to San Jose on Saturday night. Just a rough patch, a team coming down to earth. Is this who the Canucks really are? What do you think?
A little bit of both. And I wouldn't say this is who the Canucks are, because they've proven it that they've been a top-tier team right from the drop of the puck this season with Demko, with Hughes, with Pettersson. So they've got the spine of a very good team. But there is a little bit of we'll call it a market reset, because their shooting percentage was off the charts. So there was going to be a little bit of a reset there. Maybe missing the net, missing some of the opportunities where earlier on in the season, those were going in. It happens. And here's the honest part, too, is you're not surprising anybody. People are going to get up to play against you because you have proven that you've been a top-tier team right from the start of the season. So San Jose is allowed to win a couple games here or there. We saw them beat the Edmonton Oilers not that long ago, and it was against the Vancouver Canucks a couple nights ago, where you look again, they find the win. So Vancouver, a little bit of a reset, but I'm not too worried about them. Still top-tier team, but a little bit of a funk right now.
Okay, let's have some fun to finish this off, Jamie, as we're watching one of your former teams, the Calgary Flames, take on the Las Vegas Golden Knights on Monday. Something came to us. It's a new edition of our very popular Are They Related segment. It's Calgary Flames head coach Ryan Huska and former TSN hockey analyst and former Hartford Whalers head coach Pierre Maguire. Jamie, are they related?
It looks close. Huska's got to go a little bit more Messier. You see the stubble on the side there. But outside of that, I mean, and I would think that Pierre's how much older than Husk? Because I don't think you want to put him into that age bracket yet. But there is a relationship that looks like they are somewhat related. Yes.
Yes. Okay. We got it. Confirmation from our guy, Jamie. We should mention there is a 14-year age difference. But, Jamie, Pierre worked out relentlessly whenever he was on the road, like every day. So that he might have just made up for that 14 years just in daily workouts at the gym, maybe.
Quality skin program, you never know, too. That's what happens. You can never tell the age. Quality filters in those cameras, you never know. All of these types of things help to maybe hide or mask how old a person is.
That's true. That's true. I think Pierre's aging very well. Should mention, as I did mention, Leafs hosting the Panthers Tuesday. We have that one for you. Edmonton against Vegas Tuesday. Canucks against the Ducks Tuesday. And the Sens visit the Blue Jackets on Friday. Jamie McLennan, one of a kind. Thanks for this, pal.